Marvel's Wolverine comes out in 9 weeks. We know the date, we know the price, we know how the combat works, who the villains are, and exactly how much of a human being Logan can remove with a single swing. We also know how right now this is the last game of its kind Insomniac will ever release. And there is still one important question they have not answered yet that could cause the community to turn on the game even if it's good. I'll get to that too. But first, I'm breaking down everything they have told us here so you don't have to go through 20 different videos or read 9 articles to find out what a bull rush is. What to do, Direct Nation? There's a lot to talk about, so I won't waste any time. Let's get it. Starting with the boring question that turned out to be very important. How do you buy Marvel's Wolverine? Because recently, that question got extremely complicated. GTA 6, biggest game of the year, $80. You walk into a store, you buy the physical edition, you get home, you open the box, and inside is a piece of paper with a code on it. No disc, you paid $80 for the privilege of owning the sleeve. And not even the full game, because that's paywall behind the $100 version. And then Sony said, hold my beer, and announced they're ending physical games completely, despite physical game sales in the US actually growing last year. Also, most PlayStation games are bought physically. So PlayStation fans, as you can imagine, were not happy. So they side-eyed Insomniac and started asking questions about the physical version of Marvel's Wolverine. To that, there is good news and bad news. Bad news, there will be no collector's edition, no steelbook, no 9 inches of Wolverine. But for the good news, Insomniac threw out 9 magical words. The physical version will include a disc in box. That's it. No press release, no statement about respecting the community, just, yes, obviously, there's a disc in it. Standard edition, $69.99, no matter where you buy it, online or in person. Every pre-order gets you the classic brown suit early, reflective claws, a technique point, and 4 PlayStation avatars. Digital Deluxe is $79.99, 5 extra suits, Incredible, Savage, Age of Apocalypse, Night Hunt, New Leather, 5 claw sets, 3 more technique points. All of it is cosmetic, no side missions locked away here or Wolverine's motorcycle. The only content you pay extra for are these suits in the Deluxe edition, which is a fair deal to me, and you can always upgrade to the Deluxe later for $10. But if you're worried about suits, this game is going to have plenty for you to unlock. In addition to the classic brown suit and Insomniac's take on the yellow one, so far we've got his classic patch costume, some casual wear like the plaid shirt from the first trailer, and this leather jacket and jeans combo that looks similar to what he wore in the X-Men Origins Wolverine movie. There's also this cool leather jacket with the fur collar and thermal shirt underneath, plus you have the Insomniac version of his Team X costume from the comics that was first revealed in the official art book, Marvel's Wolverine: The Art of the Game. It releases November 3rd, and I recommend you buy it as a collector, because Marvel's Wolverine is the last game Insomniac is shipping with a physical release. Unless a miracle happens and Sony reverses their decision, which seems unlikely based on how they've already spent the money to change the distribution center. There is also the possibility Insomniac drops the Venom game insiders confirmed they've been working on next year, but they haven't announced it yet, so unless they do it in October or at the Game Awards in December, Venom probably got pushed to 2028. So most likely their next game will be on PS6 and will have no disc attached to it, which is pretty sad for fans and for the story of Insomniac, since that means no physical Spider-Man 3 as well. They've really been through a lot over the past few years. Wolverine was announced September 2021 with a 1-minute teaser filled with Easter eggs and hype. The Princess Bar, signs pointing to Madripoor, a reference to Wolverine's first appearance and fight with the Hulk, his eye patch. Then 5 years of near total silence, broken by a ransomware attack in December 2023 that spoiled all the mystery, delayed the game, and resulted in Spider-Man 2's DLC being cancelled. But Insomniac came back strong with their first gameplay trailer, and then followed up this past June with 7 minutes of extended, beautifully violent gameplay, as well as interviews that dumped a ton of new information on this. Logan used to run with a mutant Black Ops group called Team X. The actual X-Men don't exist yet in their universe. 3 years before the game starts, he walked out, because of course he did, leaving as roughly 40% of this man's personality. He comes back because mutants are being taken. The man behind it is Bolivar Trask, industrialist, billionaire, true believer in human superiority. And if that name rings a bell, it should. Trask is the guy who builds Sentinels, and we're getting plenty of them. Insomniac revealed it in the first gameplay trailer, a prototype of the giant version we all know, while in the extended gameplay we got a preview of the smaller ones. The prototype Sentinels can scan the target for the X gene and then adapt to their powers in order to take them out. If that was enough, Trask has hired the Reavers, a group of anti-mutant mercenaries who have enhanced themselves with cybernetics after Wolverine separated their limbs from the rest of their body. But despite being part machine, they're still really bad at staying in one piece when fighting Logan. Even though he can mostly deal with them solo, Wolverine's got backup. Jean Grey's with him, Now, she is not playable, like many speculated based on the leaks. Insomniac confirmed Wolverine will be the only playable character in this Wolverine game. Instead, Jean will be a support character, like Yuri and Harry were in Spider-Man 2, assisting you in certain sections of the game with combos and help you land critical strikes with her telekinesis. Mystique is also part of the Team X family, as we saw her fighting Reavers in the first trailer and helping Wolverine with the Sentinel in the extended one. She's, of course, a famous shapeshifter, so we'll likely also see her helping Logan on missions that require a little stealth rather than pure brute force, though the devs confirm you can mostly still approach combat claw swinging if that's your preference. His final confirmed ally is also his most iconic villain, Sabretooth. He can be seen in the trailer fighting the Reavers as well, and Insomniac confirmed Sabretooth will also join you in combat like Jean, but unlike her, his rivalry with Wolverine will make him try to outperform you during fights rather than simply help. The game is semi-open world, closer to God of War, instead of one huge map full of side activities like Spider-Man 2. They've really narrowed the scope of the game to focus on the main story, but it will allow us to explore large zones in Canada, Japan, and Madripoor as we help Logan recover his lost memories, confront the demons from his past, and save mutant kind from his biggest enemies. As expected of an Insomniac game, combat is a big part of the experience. The whole system runs on one thing: rage. Every hit, every parry, every elimination fills the meter. Rage makes you hit harder, unlock stronger moves, and this is the clever part, is also your best source for healing. Because Insomniac switched things up a little from the familiar focus meter, Logan's healing factor runs much slower while fighting. Their explanation is that he's too locked in on the battle for it to work at full capacity, so the damage stays on him, visible, real time. You watch skin knit back over adamantium only when you decide to spend a rage on it, which you can do in a last stand situation if your health reaches 0 by spending meter and doing a quick time event. You get right back on your feet. You heal passively much faster outside of combat though, but your meter feels faster the more aggressive you are, which also puts you in more danger. Stealth eliminations are also a great source of meter, so the game is encouraging you to think a little about how you approach fights instead of just button mashing. At least until you unlock Rage Tier 3, max the meter, and the entire game goes monochrome, black and white except the blood, a direct homage to the Black, White, and Blood comic run. Logan goes feral and the screen goes with him. This is where you devastate enemies, similar to the symbiote mode in Spider-Man. Also, like our last adventure with the webhead, we have techniques, which are your swappable specials. So far, they've shown the tornado spin and the bull rush sitting on a familiar looking ability wheel. We'll of course unlock more as we progress through the main game, with more unlocks waiting for you if you love the main story so much you want to spin the block with a New Game Plus run, which they confirm will be there at launch, along with the ability to replay all the missions. But if you want that 100% completion, you'll need to take advantage of the replay system no matter what to earn every collectible and achievement. Unsurprisingly, this extreme violence has earned Wolverine an M rating, but in classic Insomniac fashion, the game will have a ton of accessibility features, including a gore slider, so you can make the game as family friendly as you want it to be in terms of how they depict Wolverine taking and dealing damage. Me personally, I'm going with max gore because I want an authentic Wolverine experience, not the Saturday morning cartoon version. By the way, if this has been useful so far, Hawk smash that like button for me, takes half a second, and it's the only reason YouTube shows this to anyone who isn't already here. Now for the villains. Omega Red, one of Wolverine's coolest villains, who is actually a member of Team X along with Wolverine in this universe, but Logan got him kicked out because his love of sucking people's energy with his powers was getting a little out of hand, even for the guy who dismembers people for a living. Now Omega Red is teaming up with the Reavers to get revenge on his old friend, and the boss fight preview we got looks insane. Japan's location has also revealed more iconic villains that Wolverine has crossed paths with in the comics. He's confirmed to be fighting the Hand, the legendary group of ninja assassins who worship a powerful demon. Based on their logo, their appearance was teased by Insomniac in a secret area of Spider-Man 2 that fans discovered, which is a cool way to show how they share a universe. And no, Spidey does not show up in Wolverine. Sticking to Japan, he'll also battle a deep-cut villain, Ogun. In the comics, he was a powerful samurai that trained Logan and was a father figure to him. But after learning how to basically become immortal, he let the power go to his head and consume him. Wolverine will have to confront his former mentor and find a way to put him down for good. That's what we do know, but there is one big question that we still don't know the answer to, and it's the same thing that grew into a pretty huge deal with the Spider-Man 2 rollout: post-launch content. Fans expected it after the City That Never Sleeps DLC and movie suits for Spider-Man PS4, but we got no confirmation from Insomniac before Spider-Man 2's launch, and they dodged the question for the first year up until the PC launch, where they confirmed there would be no story DLC. The community was furious over this, and now, despite Spider-Man 2 being a huge commercial hit and their highest rated game since the PS2 era, there is a video essay every month trying to convince us all it's one of the worst games of all time. But the game still got post-launch content in the form of of New Game Plus, the Suits Out system, and new costumes, with another costume update arriving later this month to tie in with Spider-Man Brand New Day. Wolverine will not be releasing on PC, but already has New Game Plus at launch. While I expect them to release new suits after launch, along with bug fixes and quality of life adjustments, the story DLC is a much tougher question. We're not sure how tight Insomniac's schedule is with both Venom and Spider-Man 3 in development. It's very possible they decide not to do any story expansions for Wolverine either and move their resources to those other games, which I'm fine with, but I hope if that's their decision, they tell us before launch rather than let it drag out. And the next time we could get an answer about the DLC question is coming up soon, along with a ton of new reveals for the game. On Thursday, July 23rd at 11:15 a.m. Pacific time, Insomniac is making their return to San Diego Comic-Con's famous Hall H for an hour-long panel called Deep Cuts. We'll get to hear from all the game's directors, plus Liam McIntyre, the voice of Wolverine, and Kritzia Bajos, the voice of Jean Grey. They'll be answering questions and have promised exclusive, never-before-seen content. Last time they did this in Hall H was for Spider-Man 2's Symbiotic Relationships panel, where they revealed the story trailer as well as a custom PS5 bundle with a special controller and plates. I expect the same for Marvel's Wolverine this year. I'll be live reacting to everything as it happens, and Insomniac has promised to release the recording of the full panel on social media after it's finished for the fans who couldn't be there in person, which is cool of them. That's all we know about Wolverine for now, but it's not all the superhero game reveals we have to look forward to. There are still some leaked games that could be getting surprise announcements this year, especially during Comic-Con season. Click the video on screen to learn more. But if you're watching this on your TV, check it out under my Must Play Superhero Games playlist after clicking on my channel. And a huge shout out to everyone supporting me on Patreon. Join for free so you never miss an update.